All right, welcome back. This is the second episode of what I did this week for my music business. And before we jump into what I did this week, which I have a nice chunk of things that I got done or that I witnessed and so on and so forth. But before we do that, today is Father's Day. And I wanted to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, stepfathers, biological fathers, adoptive fathers, um, fathers by association, if that's a thing. And more importantly, to all the fathers that maybe can't be with their children right now or can't be with their families right now for all of the reasons that we see going on across the nation. And with that being said, let's jump into it. Okay, so first thing on my list, I got a long list, y'all. And I'm gonna try to. My goal is keep this under 20 minutes until we do the live version with people on the call with me or in the session with me. So let's see what we got here. All right, number one is last episode I talked about the listening party or I'm gonna call it a listening session and what I kind of want that to look like and what we want it to be. I've already started working on the plans for that, and as far as the event space and also the technical aspect of it, as far as how the music will be put together. And so I've already started getting all that stuff together. So that's number one. Let me see here. Ooh, I did some writing this week. I completed 2 verses. One is for, I guess the title of the song will be Go. I'm not 100% sure, but my boy Tony T, he is a longtime friend of Pimo of Paris. And basically, I think we worked together at least once. If you go to my playlist on YouTube and look up, what was it called? Cato present. Nope. It's gone. I can't remember. It might be Cato presents Pie Town, but I'm not 100% sure. But it was like the circa 2009 demo. That's what it was called, the demo. Tony T gave us 2 beats for that project. The first 8 songs, I believe, is technically the demo, and then everything else is just like I just wanted to throw in there. But he produced 2 of those records. One was called You Didn't Know. I might have messed it up. You didn't know? Say what? Tony T got locked up. I thought you knew. That's what it's called. I thought you knew. And then the other one was called Be Me, and he killed both of those. And so we have been in talks within the last year about like how we wanted to collaborate moving forward. He started his own record label, so shout out to Tony. And I'm working on my business right now, as you guys can see. And so one of the things that we talked about was like, how will we work together? And about a month ago or so, I was in a rut, overwhelmed by a lot of the information that I was coming across as far as distributors, and just being so frustrated with the whole process, and just seeing how as many tools as there are for artists to succeed, the risk of using all of these tools can be very harmful for a lot of artists. And so with that being said, being caught up in all of that, I really got to a point where I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I know, right? It's crazy. But I get an email or I get a notification from IG. He hit me up and he was like, hey, I got 5 beats. Like, let's try to do something. He sent me some album cover. He sent me some graphics. I was like, oh, wow. And I played them, the beats, and I was like, okay. And I'm just really excited. I can't wait till we solidify everything and get that shared out to you guys. But one of the records or one of the songs on that project is the beat itself is called Go. We might call it something different after the lyrics and things are laid. But I finished my verses for that. And then Domo, he has, the album that we're working on. There's a song called On the Edge. I've shared snippets of it online last year. I haven't really shared too much more since then. But as I was going through and tweaking the album tracks, like I said last time, I found a little, not even 2 seconds, like just a little loop. I found that if I looped it, I was like, this sounds like a whole nother beat. And I did. Like, I chopped it up and I looped for like 2 minutes, added some effects and select or actually, I wouldn't even say select, in random places on the file, and just made a whole nother sounding beat. Um, of course, credit to Domo for all of that. And I sent it to him. He was like, "Oh, that's dope." And then he asked me, "Did you do that?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "What if it wasn't me?" He's like, "Well, we be having a whole different conversation if somebody else had remixed his joint." And but I'm glad he liked it because that made me excited. And he might be spitting on it too. We'll see. On top of that, though, I was able to finish my verse for that. I got some crazy flows for that. I can't wait to share with you guys. So that's that. Moving on. Another thing I did this week, I got an email. So one thing we have to do, and I know some of y'all might think it's old fashioned, but some of the people I look up to and listen to and recommend are the people who are saying this, and that is email. No matter how old school it may seem, is a very reliable, for the most part, a very reliable source of corresponding with people. And so with that being said, I try to make it a habit to check my emails on a regular basis, sometimes multiple times a day. And with that being said, in my email, I think it was Wednesday, I got an email from this company called Bridging the Music. And they were putting on this thing called Minifest. And the details in which were in this email were very, very nice as far as the things that they were doing for artists, basically. A lot of freebies, a lot of like media exposure, how they framed it. And it sounded really nice. And so what you do is you reply to the email and you book a call. So I did that. I tell my wife about it. I tell the homie about it. I asked him, Domo, of course. I asked him, hey, if we get booked for this, if they accept us, like, would you want to do it? He was like, sure. I was like, all right, bet. So fast forward to the next day, I get a call, and it, I don't know, man. I'm not trying to dog anybody out, but I'm gonna just keep it real from my perspective and just share with you guys my decision on this. So first, it was like it came off as being free. There was a registration fee, $25, at least on this day. And so $25 is nothing. It's not a big deal. We applied for some other things too, and I had to pay $25. Not a big deal. I appreciate it. I will say though, the ones that I did apply to and it was 25, like it set it up front. Like registration fee is 25. So you know exactly what you're getting into. So that's number one. Number two, he goes to say, well, how many people can you bring out? I'm not gonna lie to him. And look, the numbers don't lie, you know? And so I'm like, dude, I might be able to get 20 people. Like maybe, right? And he was like, okay, well, you know, usually we try to get 35 people. We want the artist to sell like 35 tickets. Tickets are $20, and they want us to sell 35. I said, dude, I don't know, that's a little steep. And right off the bat, I knew I needed to ask, like, well, what happens if you don't sell them? He's like, well, you know, we'll work with you. You know, if you think you can bring 20, what if we do like 25 in-person tickets and like the rest can be the live stream? It's like, oh, there's a live stream option. Cool. I was like, okay, that's something to think about. I still wasn't sold on it. I was like, I don't know, it sounds good, but I don't know. So I asked him for an additional 24 hours to really think about it before I make this decision, because I've learned now that, and it's something you should know, but it really hits now. Like, I'm not just responsible for myself when I make decisions like this. Like, the people around me will either prosper or suffer from those decisions. So I have to be very careful. And so I was like, yeah, dude, I need 24 hours. He's like, okay, well, what if we just make it 20 tickets? You know, you sell 20 tickets, bring the 20 people you think you can bring, and the rest can be live stream, and, you know, we'll have a deal. I was like, okay. And he makes me watch this video, whatever. I forgot to mention, there's like a video that kind of breaks down the processes of how they do everything. And one of the things that came up in the video is not that you sell all the tickets before the show. Like, they have like a pacing method to help ensure artists to sell these tickets. You feel me? And so it's like the first week you sell 5, the second week you want to try to have 10. So it's like a great thing to do. And but one of the issues is do you have enough time to do that? You know, this festival is scheduled for July 19th, and today is the 15th. We had that conversation a few days ago. And even just talking to my wife and Domo, we were all just kind of like, we don't know if that's enough time. You know, but then I talked to Domo about it after I asked for the 24 hours. He lowered the tickets to 20, right? And I was like, give me some more time. I reach out to Domo. I talked to him. He also involves his significant other in the conversation. and we just kind of do the math, and we was like, I can't remember what it was specifically for, if it was like if you didn't hit the 20 threshold, but if you don't hit the 35, like say you don't sell any tickets, you got to pay like it was $700, I believe it was. It might have been more than that, but it was a lot. And it was like, I don't know if I want to take a risk like that. Not right now. You know what I'm saying? Like not right now when we're in the middle of doing LLC stuff and actually doing the fundamentals. Like I don't want to jeopardize my position with that. We talk it over. Domo's like, well, I'll help you move the tickets. Like I'll help you even pay the registration fee. Like I got you. I was like, my guy. And I was like, okay, I felt a little bit better. I talked to Erin about it. She said, if you feel like you can do it, then do it. If not, it is what it is. But she expressed what she expressed, and I was like, okay. So we had the phone call. Oh, because the other thing we didn't ask was how much time do you get to perform? And so I had to wait to the phone call, the next one, to ask him that. So he calls me back the next day, and that was one of the first things I asked him. He was like, well, we're looking at about 20 minutes. I was like, 20 minutes is good. Like that's really what I wanted. 20 minutes to do, like, bro, we can do a lot. But then he tells me the registration fee is actually $30. So I was like, wait, dude, yesterday it was 25. What? So I was like, I don't know, man. I really, I'm not a fan of when things change like that, And I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna make a hard decision and say no. Like, I'll keep you guys in the lookout for next year. Like maybe we'll be in a better position to do that. But right now, nah, I had to pass. So, and I say that to say, man, like sometimes it's like what you do, but it's also like what you don't do. And I just felt in my stomach it wasn't right. So I said no. Okay. In the same vein as emails, this evening I got an email. I had applied for a festival slot back in March. I applied to 2, and I put down me and Domo as a duo, you know what I'm saying? So he can DJ while I spit. And I got news of one tonight that I got accepted. So I'm excited. It's I think it's a 15-minute slot. That's cool. It's local. It's yeah, I don't want to give too many details right now, but just know like we got it. And it's the week, I think Labor Day weekend. So I'm excited about that. And if it's not Labor Day weekend, it's the 29th, 30th, 31st. That's my birthday weekend. So I'm really amped about that. Let's see what else we got going on here. Okay. So another thing I did this week was kind of get a feel for how I want to post the episode one, but also like spread out the little shorts. So what I did was I took the episode like I'm gonna do tonight, and I'm gonna chop up small pieces, and I'm gonna put like maybe pick 4 or 5 of my favorites and have them go on Instagram and other places throughout the week just to see how they do, see if we can get some traction like that as well. See if we can get a buzz, or at least just get some more viewers and get some more fans involved. You feel me? So that's something else I did. And I feel like it was received well. I feel like it was received well. I think the information that I picked was good too, and it helped build on each video. So I'm really happy about that. Something else that happened. I was supposed to have a session Monday. Unfortunately, it got canceled. They rescheduled, but unfortunately, I'm attending a wedding that day, so I'm still waiting on them to reschedule. But either way, hopefully we get that done because there's a lot of work to be done, and I'm excited about that. Last night, this is probably the next biggest thing on my list, is we had a session last night. It was me, Domo, and my sister. Mainly me and my sister to lay down a chorus for a song for Tony T for that project I was telling you about. And she did a magnificent job. And on top of that, another thing we wanted to do was kind of like do some interviews, if you will, and just to help slowly introduce us and ourselves to the public, I guess, in a different way, and hope that maybe we get some traction like that from viewers. And I would say that it went really well. She sang so really good. I think the best part though was definitely getting the shots of the interview and then seeing the outcome of them. I shouldn't even be surprised, but I am very surprised at how nice they came out. The downside is, man, I didn't clean my glasses before I sat down in front of the camera, so you could see like the light because it's the flash, and it's like all on my lenses, and you can see the smudges, and I'm just like, this is so cringy, and I'm hoping nobody pays attention, but I'm telling you about it, so now you'll know to look for it, I guess. But what was cool was I did a front facing, I guess not technically front facing. I want to say in front of the interviewee's face was my phone to record the questions and whatnot. And then we had our Nikon camera capture like a side profile, if you will. So we got like two shots at the same time. So I'm interested to see how I can clip those up and chop those up to make it into an engaging video to share with you guys. Let me see. During that, so besides the interviews and the song with me and my sister that she had recorded, Domo, we wanted to work on a song together that we had started a while back. And and we also did a little bit of that remix that I was telling you about as well. But before I get to that, let's talk about the song. So the song is called "Move or Get Out My Way." And that's all I'm gonna tell you about that. And I've been struggling to write to this song, but I figured we would sit down because I know Domo said he might spit something on it. And so what he did was he added some texture to the chorus. Incredible, because I wouldn't have thought to add something like this. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but one day you'll hear it and you'll be like, oh, okay, I see what he's saying. And Domo has a very unique voice as well. His is very deep and very like raspy, and it's very commanding. You know what I mean? And so I can't wait for you guys to hear him on the track. And he said he might have heard himself record it twice at this point now. So I think he really enjoyed that. And then we opened up the file for the remix track, On the Edge remix. And I went ahead and laid the verse down in front of them. And it wasn't a good take at all. I still need to practice it to make sure I get it down comfortably. Because I like at the end, I kind of slip up a little bit. And so he added some flavor at the beginning and he put some at the end. So I don't know if he's going to rap on it or not, but I know he put like a little, I don't know what to call it. It's just fire. Like, and when you hear, you're like, okay, I like what they were doing there. Let's see. Okay. Okay. I mentioned that I am in the process of trying to find a venue still for the listening session and just really trying to nail down a date for that. And given that we're doing this festival now, I'm probably going to push it back to September. I'm thinking September, November. I definitely want to get this album out before the year is over, though. That part, I know for a fact I know that. So we got to definitely have this listening session before then. I wanted to highlight one of the businesses I came across on this search, and one of them is called Northwest Coffee Roasting Company. I hope I said that right. And it caught my eye because it's Black owned as well. And it was really weird how it showed up on Google, because you can Google like Black businesses, and it was like the business was built by a non-melanated person, but a Black man has acquired the business, so it's Black owned in that sense. I'm like, I think that still counts, And so he seems really cool. And if you guys just Google him and look on YouTube, he has a video where he's like slow roasting beans over a fire pit. I was like, what? I've never seen that before. That was pretty cool. And they have he has like, I think it was like 2020 or something like that, with the George Floyd thing when that happened, right? So he had a video of himself like supporting Black Lives Matter and like rallying and chanting to this group of people. I was like, okay, this guy seems really cool. And so I reached out to him. Fingers crossed I hear back. Hopefully he says yes, and hopefully they have a nice area for us to coagulate or conjugate or congregate is the word I'm looking for. That we can congregate there, and hopefully it's affordable and makes sense. Let's see here. Oh snap. Okay. Another thing I did. This might seem small to some, but I don't know. I feel like it's a pretty big deal. Now that I got my information, most of my information for the business, I was able to apply for my TikTok business account. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm just happy I'm able to do that. Okay. Also, so after I had did my, what is it called? When I had did my mailbox, my virtual mailbox. Okay. When I did that, you get like a free Yelp page or something like that. And so I had reached out to Yelp to get that thing set up, and they got to verify your business and verify that you're real. So they reached out to me and they asked me if I was interested in Yelp for Business, which I'm just like, okay. I didn't. And so she puts me in contact with somebody who is like a partner with Google to help you with SEO, search engine optimization. So we have this conversation, and she's asked me this question: "Well, baby, do I got to make a commitment today and pay? Because I ain't got it. Like I ain't finna lie to you." It's like, "Well, no, we're just having a conversation. It's just a free consultation." I'm like, "All right, cool." And then she asks what B.L.A.M.E stood for. I told her. She's like, "Okay, so are you a musician?" She asked what services we're doing because we're trying to do the search engine optimization. And in the midst of that, I tell you, I make music as well. And she's like, "Oh, you think I could hear something?" And I'm like, so I did, right? At first I was gonna say no, but then I was like, "All right, I got you." I spit like a short verse or whatever, and she liked it, so that was cool. And so basically that conversation ended with me being like, I'm not gonna be able to do this right now, but maybe in a year, if like you want to reach out to me in a year, that'd be cool. And maybe, I won't forget about you. I think her name was, did I forget this woman's name? It's either Diane or Donna. It's one of the other. But anyway, I told her I'm not gonna forget her. And I was like, she's not gonna forget me because I rapped a verse for her. So we'll see how that goes. One thing that came up in that conversation though was her asking the services that I do, right? And basically, how do I want to promote those? And we were talking about like a landing page for my website, basically, because she needed to see my website. And for those who know, which I know a lot of y'all don't, that's okay. I'm gonna tell you, I have a website now, right? But it's like, it was mainly just set up to help me, one, for the newsletter, to get emails and things like that, right? Fan data collection. On top of that, it was to help maybe move and maybe make some money from 32 weeks, because Lord knows I can't publish to any of that because the mixtapes status of it. So being like beats that are not mine and commercial, like they're not, I will get sued if I use them, right? So I can't sell them. Or I can't publish them. So I'm trying to see if we can make money just moving it like a mixtape if we were to pass it out in the street, right? So if you didn't know, you can go to my website and download those. Okay. Anyway, I decided to add on the landing page now where you fill out for the newsletter. If you go down, what you'll find is I added, remember I told y'all about my calendar invite app thing to help me make bookings and things like that. I put that on the website now. That way, when people click the site, what I'm saying, you can sign up for that. And if you're an artist, like, and you want, me to mix a song, or if you want me to record you, like, you can fill out the information right there. Wow. So I'm really happy about that. Something that I should have did a long time ago, but if you don't think about it, or if nobody says anything about it, you kind of forget, Okay, let's wrap this up. We're almost done here. The last couple things I did was just some information I took in. And one person, so this is another podcast slash YouTuber slash person that I kind of value their opinion about certain things. His name is Curtis King. He was, I don't know if he still is, but like a producer for like Absol and for TDE at one point. And he's a wonderful artist as well. And he's a big pusher for people to go direct to fans, right? Because that's what we're all focusing on. Like if you're trying to grow in this age of like streaming is dying, like this is where we're going. And so he was sharing a video about Vic Mensa. I don't know too much about him. I never really listened to his music, but I know the name. I know he's a pretty big artist. And it was a video of Vic like getting emotional about the issue and the gap between streaming, but the amount of money that the music industry itself will create and generate. And so Curtis pulls up the calculator, which I forgot you could do this. You can find the calculator somewhere online where it tells you how many streams you need to make a certain amount of money, or if this is how much money you're trying to make, this is how many streams you need, right? And it's just heartbreaking, man. And it's just like another reminder, like this is not how it's supposed to be. But it was like, again, because of, I ain't gonna lie, man, I'm sure y'all did it too. If you had LimeWire, Morpheus, Napster, I don't know if Napster was legit or not. I don't know. But we were all ripping music, bro. Like we all had burnt CDs. So we knew what the game was. And so to fix that problem of people pirating music, streaming was delivered to us. And it was like, you pay the subscription, unlimited music, until, what I'm saying, there's an issue with what you can access. Because in case you like, it gets deep. One of the things, like, if you get under 1,000 streams, like, you won't even be monetized. And so, like, things like that, man. And so a lot of people are just finding creative ways to get around that. But anyway, it's just really sad when you really break down what that gap looks like. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you break down like how much corporations that are involved in this actually get, how much Spotify's actually get from this versus how much the artist gets. It's pennies. It's not right. And so they were talking about the Living Wage Act for musicians, which would raise the fraction from 0.0003 to 1 cent, which still doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot easier to calculate how many streams you need to make $100. You know what I'm saying? So there's that on the rise. I think it passed somewhere, or they're still working on it. I'm not 100% sure. I forgot. But if you are interested, I say definitely look into that. Let me see. Is there anything else? Aha. Okay. Last thing I wanted to mention is song, artist, and album recommendations. I meant to go back and listen again, but somebody had made a post and tagged me in it about this artist I should check out. I think it was Miss Alley Cat, I think her name is the name of the artist that was recommended to me by Joe. Shout out to Joe. Hopefully you see this. I listened to it. I listened to at least one album and a couple of her songs, and I would say she's really cool. It's a local artist. I like her voice, her cadence. Whoever mixed her, produced her, did a good job. I think that sounds nice. One of the things that Joe pointed out was like the beats might sound repetitive, and they do, but she has a really good flow and she will hold your attention. So definitely check her out. I want to say the song that stuck out the most might have been Imagine That, and I'm using my phone right now so I can't look it up, but she has some good songs on that album. And I think it's Miss Alley Cat, but she also calls herself like Miss Mac, or Mac, the Mac, Return of the Mac. It's crazy how she do it, but it's nice at the same time. So I want to say that brings us to the end of today's review of what we did for our music business this week. So I appreciate you spending this time with me. If no one has told you that they love you today, just know that I do, and I always will. Again, happy Father's Day. You guys take care.